Chicago and the Philippines. A comprehensive review of the week's special community events, featuring many exciting personalities, handled by the most professional Chicago Philippine Reports TV staff.
Good afternoon and welcome to the Chicago Philippine Reports TV, still the #1 Filipino show in the Midwest. I'm Girly Pascual. Welcome to our show. Today we have all the top stories from the Philippines. We also have what's happening in our own Filipino-American community of Chicago. We have interesting interviews led by our very own executive producer, Miss Veronica Layton. We have Bridget Cotero Carino. All these are coming up and more afterward from our sponsors. Please stay with us.
Visiting hours and phone use are limited at the detention facility of the House of Representatives, where SMNI hosts Lorraine Badoy and Jeffrey K. Celis have been detained after they were cited in contempt by the House Committee on Legislative Franchises last Tuesday. But the room is spacious, with a folding bed, pillows, and blankets. The two SMNI hosts may have to spend Christmas in detention if the panel rejects their appeal to be released. Their lawyer plans to appeal the detention to the House Committee when it resumes its hearing into SMNI's alleged fake news peddling and red tagging on Monday.
We are requesting the good committee that we consider for humanitarian reason and for the spirit of Christmas, maybe they will reconsider that protest or that contempt order.
But Badoy and Celis' camps are also preparing to bring the matter before the Supreme Court should the House Committee rule against their appeal.
Mag-file tayo ng petition for certiorari on the ground of grave abuse of discretion amounting to lack or excess of jurisdiction on the part of the Committee on Franchise and petition for habeas corpus for the illegal detention and arrest.
Badoy and Celis were cited in contempt by the committee last Tuesday for refusing to answer questions in a relevant inquiry and for acting in a disrespectful manner. Celis refused to name his source who gave the erroneous information on House Speaker Martin Romualdez' alleged 1.8 billion peso travel expenses. Badoy meanwhile gave inconsistent responses and questions regarding her show's advertisers. Their lawyer says they will continue their hunger strike until released from House detention. But will this sway the committee?
Sa committee po namin, marami po dyan na, they're used to this. We really don't know what their intentions are. If that is done to persuade the committee, I really don't know. I cannot really answer you. Prerogative po nila. Ginagalang po natin ang desisyon nila.
Congressman Tambunting, however, offers a faster way out of detention.
What we want is for him to identify the source. He named that it's an employee of the Senate, and I think he's also duty bound to make sure that that person exists.
Tambunting defended the actions of his committee against accusations of grave abuse of discretion, saying there was due process and legal basis. Based on the last two hearings, the committee chair believes SMNI violated certain provisions of its franchise. But Tambunting says the panel will still have to discuss the issue of franchise revocation.
You can see already that 41011 was violated. Of course, they're coming up with their defenses.
Should the matter reach the Senate, Senator Ronald Bato de la Rosa says evidence and testimonies will be weighed carefully. But he expressed belief that SMNI does not deserve punishment.
Yung isipin ay napakalaki ang naitulong, lalong-lalo na sa ating intel cut. Talagang yan lang ang registration na nakita ko na talagang fairness na lumalaban sa CBP and PNDF.
For the National Union of Journalists of the Philippines, red taggers should be held accountable for their actions, but it rejects the shutdown of any media outfit.
Authorities reveal one of the two suspects in a deadly Sunday blast that killed 4 people and injured 50 others at the Mindanao State University Gymnasium in Marawi City was a former MSU student.
May report na nandito siya, may pinatira sila dito, isang barangay dito at nag-stay sila dito. Inimbestigahan ho namin kung gaano sila katagal na tumira dito. They were not able to stay there permanently. Wala naman silang bahay. Meron lang nagpatira sa kanila. Nakituloy lang.
The MSU administration confirmed that Kadapi Mimbesa was a former student of the university. An MSU official said Mimbesa enrolled in the course Bachelor of Science in Agricultural Engineering in 1993, but stopped in 1998. He went back to the university in 2007, but still did not finish his course.
We were able to verify that today kasi we are cooperating with the investigation. So we ran through our database and then nahanap po namin yung pangalan niya. We are confirming na former student po namin siya. Nag-enroll po siya 1993.
The Philippine National Police said Arsani Membiza, the driver of the motorcycle used by the suspects, is wanted for murder. According to the PNP, the suspects were involved in previous bombing incidents in Mindanao. Another unidentified individual is being pursued as he may have served as the lookout and accomplice of Membiza and Mimbesa.
Pareho po ito na meron pong mga warrants of arrest for murder at mga involvement din po sa mga previous bombing incident, particularly dyan po sa probinsya po ng Lanao del Sur at Lanao del Norte po. May isa pa po tayong individual na hinahanap at iniimbestigahan dahil ito po ay posibleng nagsilbing lookout during the incident.
The AFP is also studying whether or not there was a failure of intelligence in the deadly attack.
So, yung failure siguro is not because of negligence on the part, but probably on the capability to cover everything, the military alone, di ba? Tinatanong ba dyan, may pagkukulang ba yung intelligence unit? Yun ang titingnan natin kung may pagkukulang kasi ano ba yung information na nakuha before? Na-actionan ba yun? Yun mga ganung bagay. Ibang usapan yun.
Meanwhile, a mass was held at a chapel in the MSU campus on Thursday, the first mass to be held in campus since the deadly Sunday blast. The mass was offered for the 4 people killed and dozens injured by the explosion. Face-to-face classes and academic activities at the MSU will resume on Monday. More military, police, and security personnel will also be deployed to the campus.
There are checkpoints in the 7 different barangays inside the university. We have employed K9 sniffing dogs, bomb sniffing dogs. Meron na rin kami mga metal detectors, and then there are security forces roaming around.
The MSU continues to offer mental health and psychosocial support services to students and faculty.
As the holiday rush kicks into high gear, industries are expecting a surge in sales and demand, prompting businesses engaged in wholesale and retail to boost employment for the season. The Philippine Statistics Authority sees this as one of the drivers of the increase in employment in October. The employment rate climbed to 95.8% from 95.2% in the second quarter of 2023. This translates to an increase of about 3 million jobs in the labor force.
Normally, pag mga per months na yan, talagang makikita naman natin ang dami ng mga economic activities. You have bazaars, opening during weekends, yung mga restaurants natin, nagdadagdag sila ng mga additional workers. So, dito nakikita natin kung saan yung source ng ating increase sa employment.
Industries involved in agriculture, food, and accommodation also saw an uptick in employment. However, unemployment rate went up in October at 11.7% compared to September's 10.7%. But for Finance Secretary Benjamin Jokno, the good news is that unemployment went down after slightly picking up in September.
4.6%. That's pretty good. Our plan under the medium-term development plan is that unemployment will be in the range of 5.3 to 5.6, or rather 5.3 to 6.4. So 4.6 is pretty good. Plus, you look at the quality of employment. Underemployment is down to 10.7%. That's the lowest since we have started gathering the data.
The National Economic and Development Authority also vowing to expand efforts to reskill or upskill the workforce while sustaining moves to create an environment promoting high-quality jobs.
Ones that produce, the kind of 8 to 5 work rather than 1 or 2 hours a day work, and not peddling cigarettes in the street. And those can happen only if companies, businesses are investing. They're building plants, factories, equipment, machineries that our labor can work on. There's no other way of improving the quality of work available if you can't get investments, massive investments. So that will complement our push for improving our infrastructure. Because
among the industries NEDA sees with potential to boost the labor market are in information and technology and business process outsourcing. The agency said these industries could be drivers of economic growth with its resilience to global shocks. Lady Vicencio, ABS-CBN News.
Asian markets retreated on Thursday under pressure from weak oil prices, now below $70 per barrel, and concerns about China's fiscal health. Philippine shares not spared from the declines, even after improving economic data points, including a cooler than expected inflation print and easing unemployment rate. For the day, the PSE index joined the regional drop, tumbling over 1% to close at 62.34 on value turnover of 3.7 billion pesos. In corporate stories, ASEN Renewables International, a subsidiary of the Ayala Group's energy firm ASEN, signs its first $100 million green term loan facility from Japan's MUFG Bank. Proceeds will be used to fund energy projects outside the Philippines, like in Australia, the firm's largest market outside the country. The unit also has current approvals in place for another up to $422 million in funding to be used in the next 2 years. These are aligned with ASEN's ambitious goal of achieving 20 gigawatts of renewables by 2030. Meanwhile, Vivant Corporation subsidiary Vivant Energy signs a 5-year term loan facility with BDO for up to 3.5 billion pesos to partially finance its power generation projects. In other news, Discovery World Corporation, which owns and operates luxury resorts like Discovery Shores Boracay, is injecting additional capital into wholly owned subsidiaries, K Islands Corporation, Lucky Cloud 9 Resorts, One Davao Townships Corporation, and Palawan Cove Corporation, to be used for potential expansion of its hotel business in Surigao del Norte, Davao, and Palawan.
Dito na! Perfect!
It's more fun in the Philippines.
Do you need to get your hands on some extra money right now? Maybe $25,000 or more? If you're a homeowner, now is the perfect time to get cash out. While homes in many neighborhoods like yours have gone up in value, you can use the money for anything. It's yours. You can buy an investment property, pay for college, pay off higher interest debt, or make home improvements. A cash out refinance is the perfect solution to get the cash you need. If you need $25,000, $50,000, or even $100,000, now's the time. Home values are up, and so is your equity. We offer you a way to use it. No need to sell your home or use your savings. Call New American Funding now and speak to a cash out refi specialist and see how much cash out you can get.
Call New American Funding at 855-332-3929. That's 855-332-3929. Call 855-332-3929.
Everybody wants cheap airfare, but where do you find it? You call low-cost airlines. Their prices are direct from the airlines, and they're so low you can't find these fares published anywhere. They specialize in cheap flights, discount hotel rooms, cheap car rental rates, and great package deals anywhere around the world. Wherever you want to go, they can help you get there cheaply and with a best price guarantee. If you want the lowest prices on your airline tickets or other travel services, call now. That's right, call. That's the only way to get these rates. Experts are standing by 24/7 to get you the cheapest airfare and hotel rates available. So don't wait. Call right now for the lowest travel prices anywhere and for great last-minute travel deals too. Call 901-245-4874. That's 901-245-4874. 901-245-4874. That's 901-245-4874.
Via Times, vital news, vibrant views for the Filipino Asian communities in Chicago. Via Times for your most interesting and exciting reading and your party coverages. Via Times has very interesting columnists. You name it, Via Times has it. Law, Filipino news, dentistry, immigration, humor, serious opinions, health, beauty, mysticism, Bata Corner, showbiz, and intelligently written editorials. Call Via Times at 773-866-0811.
Magandang hapon po sa inyo lahat and welcome to Veronica's segment of the show. Today, I have a very interesting, exciting, and believe it or not, a very young Filipino-American filmmaker. And I think maybe some of you know him already among here in my audience, Chicago audience. He is an award-winning filmmaker. And his name is PJ Raval. Have you heard about him? Okay, PJ, I'm really honored to welcome you here in our show, the Chicago Philippine Reports TV, and to say hi to your Chicago audience.
Magandang araw. Thank you for having me.
Okay, I invited PJ for the show because he had just made a new documentary entitled "Who We Become." And this film sounds so exciting. Let's hear from PJ about this film. Okay, PJ, first thing, please tell our viewing audience about the film, Who We Become. What is it?
Yeah, Who We Become is a feature documentary following the lives of 3 young Filipino-American women, all based in Texas. And the film takes place during the pandemic and really is a coming-of-age documentary where we see each of these 3 protagonists kind of coming into their own. And the film premieres this Friday, December 1st on Netflix. So I hope everyone will tune in and check it out.
This coming Friday. Netflix, right?
Opo.
It is exclusive streaming from Netflix. Is that what you're saying? Okay. Why did you make this film? Or why? And it involves or focuses on Filipino families. It seems to be. Why? About the pandemic.
Yes, I mean, in general, as a filmmaker, I'm very interested in centering stories from the Filipino American or Filipino diasporic community. And with this film in particular, I got very interested in this younger generation that I see with a very specific point of view, and how perhaps their experience and point of view might be very different from some of their family members, some of their parents' generation. But I see them doing amazing work in terms of expressing the way that they feel and think about the world and figuring out a way to connect to their families and kind of bridge that generational and maybe even cultural divide. So for me, it was an opportunity to really highlight this amazing, active younger generation.
How long have you been doing films? Have you started doing it here in the U.S. or in the Philippines?
So I was born and raised in the United States. My parents both are Ilocano and come from Ilocos, but I was born here, raised here, and I've been making films now for over 15 years, maybe, verging on maybe 2 decades.
And so far, how many films have you created?
This is my fourth feature documentary. I'm in the process of making a couple more. I've made also a couple short documentaries and scripted and narrative films as well. And I also have a long history of being a cinematographer. So I've worked in the industry for many years.
How long is the film?
The film is feature length. It's about 74 minutes. And it will be releasing not only here in the United States, but it will be releasing also in the UK, Canada, New Zealand, Australia. So I hope everyone checks it out.
You are featuring in your film 3 Filipino women that are main central characters. And how did you find them in Texas?
Well, I'm based here in Austin, Texas, so it was important for me to think about a story coming from my own community or my surrounding community. And 2 of the 3 protagonists, the first one being Lauren, and the second one being Monica, both of them I knew just as local community members. And through the producer, Cecilia Mejia, who's based in New York, I met Jenna Maravilla, who is our third protagonist, who's based in Houston.
Was the whole story based in Austin, Texas?
No, it takes place throughout Texas. So Monica, for instance, her family comes from the border area of Texas. Lauren's family comes from further north in New Bedford, and then Jenna is actually based in Houston, and her family lives also in Pearland, which is kind of further east from Central Texas.
Terrific. Okay, and then maybe these girls will be discovered for Hollywood. Okay.
Well, I have to say, Monica, who is our second protagonist, if anyone is on TikTok, she is definitely blowing up on TikTok. She's got a very good TikTok following. So, but yes, I'm happy to give each of them additional platforms for them to, meet all of you.
Okay, as a filmmaker, of course, you have shown this movie to some film festivals. Have you done that?
I have, and in fact, I screened the film at Cinemalaya, which is the largest independent film festival in the Philippines. So I screened the film there in August. I've also screened it in Los Angeles at the LA Asian Pacific Film Festival. We screened it in San Francisco at CamFest, which is run by the Center for Asian American Media, and so forth. And of course, we've screened it here in Texas as well.
What are the reactions so far?
Well, the reactions from audiences here in the United States has been really amazing. A lot of audience members, including non-Filipinos, I think are really affected by the film, because I think a lot of the stories that we see unfolding in the film are very relatable and universal, right? This idea of having a little bit of a different perspective, whether that be from a generational difference, a cultural difference, maybe even just a difference in political opinion, that certainly occurs within family, within community, within friendships. And I think a lot of people are taking away from it this idea that it is possible to recognize each other's differences. And in the process of doing that, that really strengthens the relationship between people. I think for me, one of the interesting things was screening it in the Philippines, because the film starts off with a definition of the word kapwa, which for me, I wasn't as familiar with that word until making this film, but it became an inspiration in making the film. And for those who are not familiar with that word, It's a Tagalog word or Filipino word, which in my opinion doesn't fully translate into English, but loosely maybe can be thought of as togetherness, community, maybe even I've heard some poetic descriptions of it, such as "I am because of you," which I think is a really beautiful way of thinking of it. And for me, that was a large inspiration for making the film. And so when I screened it in the Philippines, one of the things that was very interesting was I think people understood the word from the perspective of living in the Philippines, but had an opportunity to see what the experience was like for a certain generation also living in the United States, and how that concept of kapwa maybe extends to this idea of also solidarity among other marginalized groups, allyship amongst other minority groups. And I think the experience of being Filipino American also aligns with being perhaps a child of an immigrant, or aligns with maybe some of the issues that women are facing, and this idea of how all of us need to kind of be in community with one another. So for me, the idea of that word, the process of making this film, it made me really understand that word and how maybe it's taking on a unique form here in the United States, or for those who are part of the children of parents who have immigrated, and or kind of the diasporic communities.
Wow, very interesting. I really like it. I like the moral story that you're trying to portray in this movie. I love it. Very good. I am very interested in watching this. But where can people watch this movie?
So the film will be streaming exclusively on Netflix starting Friday, December 1st. And if people want to, they can even look up the film now and click a Remind Me button. So when it is released on Friday, you'll get a notification. But it'll be streaming on Netflix, and that will be in the United States, Canada, the UK, New Zealand, and Australia.
Now, how about in the Philippines?
Not yet, but we're working on it, and hopefully it will be there soon.
Wow, very good. I'm so glad that I interviewed you on our Cprtv show today, PJ. Wow, award-winning PJ Raval, a great filmmaker, and he will really be going places. I can see that, and I can feel it. And I'm so happy that I met you today, PJ. And
thank you so much, and salamat po.
Po. Itong ating running out of time na raw tayo. This is a very
time is so precious.
Interview, and I was not even aware. I thought I was going to be interviewing you today just for 10 minutes. But you are a very interesting person and a filmmaker. Maraming salamat sa iyong pagdating
salamat po.
And I wish you good luck and congratulations. So all the things that you've been doing, just keep us updated if there is anything we can do for you. At maraming salamat po sa inyong panonood. Ako po si Veronica. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Bye, PJ.
Bye. Thank you.
This is a prayer and a reminder. All we have is now. Anak, umuwi ka na.
Worldwide this morning, growing concern over a growing health crisis.
The World Health Organization has just declared that this is a pandemic.
Hi. I can't hug you. Don't touch me.
Over the last several days, we have seen peaceful demonstrations.
Protests over police brutality continued here in Austin.
Remember when you started going to college? You came home a liberal?
Dad, please.
That's what we do to you guys in school.
All these people that we never met and never will meet because of
what had happened to them. It's just too much. The way that our family communicates is not necessarily, it's not great.
What advice would you give for those of us that are struggling?
Deal with it.
Yeah.
I think the norm for our community has been to just stay silent and keep to your own business.
I could definitely be doing more than I'm doing right now, and I know that others can as well.
What if someone is called from God to be an activist?
I can answer the question.
Shouting revolution, oh wow, breaking each tradition.
You don't believe in the Black Lives Matter movement?
An advocacy group reporting at least 3,800 anti-Asian hate incidents since last March.
I'm kind of conflicted. I'm like, maybe I should move home and be here with them.
I hope that this moment makes you take a step forward and a step together in the right direction.
In order for a subject to not be taboo in our community, there always has to be someone to start that conversation.
Yeah. You speak up for me when I can't speak up for myself. And I've seen you do that for other people.
I see a lot of people who just kind of cut off friends and family, and I don't think I can do that. I love my parents. This is a symbol of our voices. If you look at your neighbors around you, you will see who stands with you, who stands for you.
At least I know that you can stand up. That's the thing I'm so happy about.
Dito na! Perfect!
Do you need to get your hands on some extra money right now? Maybe $25,000 or more? If you're a homeowner, now is a perfect time to get cash out. While homes in many neighborhoods like yours have gone up in value, you can use the money for anything. It's yours. You can buy an investment property, pay for college, pay off higher interest debt, or make home improvements. A cash out refinance is the perfect solution to get the cash you need. If you need $25,000, $50,000, or even $100,000, now's the time. Home values are up, and so is your equity. We offer you a way to use it. No need to sell your home or use your savings. Call New American Funding now and speak to a cash out refi specialist and see how much cash out you can get.
Call New American Funding at 855-332-3929. That's 855-332-3929. Call 855-332-3929.
Magandang hapon po sa inyo lahat and welcome to Veronica's segment of the show. Today, I have a very familiar face, a beautiful face, and she was one of our, my goodness, staff members here in the show, but she disappeared, and now she reappeared, and her name is Miss Melody Dizon. Miss Melody Dizon used to be one of our, newscasters, or and the Viatimes columnist, and now she is a very successful entrepreneur. Yes, believe it or not, and she will be talking to us about her new business. And Melody is the founder and president of Vital Signs Wellness, or VSW Wellness. It's something new and really highly technical wellness for many people out there. And we will know more about it from Melody herself. Hi, Melody. How are you? Welcome to our show.
Hi, Tita V. Thank you so much. Nako, I only second to Tita V, guys. You know that she is the Venus. She's everything else's. I follow her footsteps. I only second her. So I do appreciate her in my life. I really do.
Yeah, she disappeared from us, from our views, but now she is reappearing, hopefully more regularly. But at this time, we're just interviewing Melody about this vital signs wellness. What is vital signs wellness, Melody?
Yeah, thank you for asking me that, Tita V. Actually, Vital Science Wellness, when I was conceptualizing the idea of the business, it really is the vital signs is it's what makes the heart beat, right? It what makes somebody alive. It is what makes somebody give life to people. So you have your blood pressure, your pulse, your respiration. All of those is necessary for a person to do what she does or to open a business. And that's what I figured it will be a good name, because you can't forget that. You always say, vital sign, it's vital. It's a vital sign for you, for the business, for everybody else as well, joining us. So yeah, that's how it came to be, Vital Signs Wellness.
Wow, very interesting. So specifically, what does it do to your clients?
That's right. So when I started it 5 years ago, originally it we all based it on chronic care management. So it is case management at its best. And what I'm doing is I'm contracted by facilities and by physicians to help them increase their outcome measures. So everybody or physicians or providers are currently paid. Some of them are paid by what they call a pay for performance, P4P. And if we are to prove to Medicare that the patients are not going to the hospital, patients are healthy at home, they're being monitored, Medicare incentivizes the physician. So when there's incentivization, people are more apt to doing things that will make them more healthy. So originally it started with that case management. Then I added another service to the business, which is the remote patient care monitoring. So it is the devices are smart. It's smart technology. So when patients are given these devices, their blood pressure, their blood sugar, anything of their vital signs directly go to their doctor's charts. So the good thing about that is it's an easier identification if there's any change in their condition. We can in real time we can address giving them blood pressure medication or any other medication that would avoid a trip to the emergency room. And then the last year came the wound care management. And what that is we use the amniotic graft, the membrane, the stem cell membrane, to heal wounds that don't heal and that are chronic. And Medicare is loving that because we are avoiding hospitalization. We're saving legs, we're saving limbs, we're not cutting off any of the limbs because of the new technology we have. So yes, that is where we are now based on the new technology that we have. I anchored my business towards that because that's where everything else is going. So yep, that's what it is.
I'm wondering, I'm curious, Melody. How did you get started with this company?
Yeah, in anything that I do, I always pray, right? I pray to guide me to the people that will help me or direct me to the people that will get into things that are maybe what we are called for. So I am a nurse by profession, as you know. I have met different kinds of people, and one time I got this call. They said there's a new product that's out. Why don't you come out and listen to it? So when I listened to it, it was really truly the first of its kind. I've never heard anybody doing any of it. So Then some of my common friends are actually just one friend, one guy who said, "Oh, you gotta watch this thing because it's so amazing." And so when I listened to it, I told him, "Oh, I already know what that is. That's what I'm doing." So it's just coming out of the market since last year, the treatment that is being done at home. So I was brought to those people. The people that I already know, they reached out to me.
What is amazing to me with what you do with this company is that it seems that you are going global. You're not only local, but um, in your territory, it's just, it is expanding so fast and going global. I I really cannot comprehend that. Wow, really. Melody, tell us.
Yeah, I have always been an advocate for Filipino workers because, being exposed to so many cultures and way of doing things, I always see the hard work and the value of the Filipinos working. They really put their heart into it. They put their service into it, and they don't even count. They don't count. They just do it because it's the right thing to do. So, given that, with me, I always say I can train the skills. If you don't have the skill, I can train you for it. But what I cannot train is your heart. So you have to have a heart that is, trustworthy. Your heart should be in the right place for me. And if I have that, then I can teach you the skills. So Philippines, I have maybe about 30 staff there, Tita V, and they do the back office for me. So like almost a BPO or a business process outsourcing. So I am outsourcing the stuff that I can outsource remotely in the same way that I can also provide work for our Filipino servicemen. So I'm just glad that I'm given that opportunity to be able to do that.
Wow, the way it sounds to me, Melody, you're really using your heart, not only your mind, but your heart. How very interesting, touch with the company. And, and with your upcoming event, the company's event, you're taking some of your employees to Boracay, Philippines. And yeah, from what I heard, because you invited me to your Thanksgiving dinner, from what I heard, this is the second year that you guys will be going to Boracay, Philippines. Oh my God. Well, how are you doing this? And you're flying your employees
Yeah.
to Philippines.
So some of the staff here went with us, came home with us. There's maybe about I want to say about 8 staff are going home from here, and I have 30 in the Philippines. I'm flying everybody to Boracay, so we're gonna be there for a 5-day event. So there's about 50 of us, and I have not met really some of the staff in the Philippines, and I want to get the sense of for them to know that first of all, I am human being. You just don't see me in Zoom all the time or on phone calls, but I am alive. You can feel me. I'm live, and as well as them that I get to know them personally as well. And there will be a good connection between the people that are working here and people that are working back home. It's important to have that integration, and to do that, I think I had to have everybody meet up and get to know each other.
Very, very interesting. You really have, you're really using your personal approach in treating your employees. On the other hand, uh, that is a lot of work in preparing the papers for the immigration process. And well, it seems that everybody was happy that I talked to, and keep it up, keep it up.
you.
how and the Filipino employees would really be so enthusiastic about what you're doing, and for doing that, I think you're getting really a lot of loyalties and a lot of love from them.
That's right. I have to agree with you. That's right, Tita V. I'm blessed.
Really good treat, and I like the name of your company, Vital Signs. Do you know that Vital Times motto is vital news, vibrant news? So it really is vital and vibrant.
And that's who you are, Miss Venus, Miss Victoria, Miss Veronica, not Victoria, Veronica. I love the name. You're victorious as well.
I'm so really very happy with your success and
thank you.
Accomplishments, and I just wish that you just have to keep it up, keep on fighting. And you're really going places, and you're making a lot of people happy. Congratulations! Just keep us updated on what you're where and what and where you're going from here. I know it's not down, but up.
That's yeah. Sometimes when you hit all the way down bottom, the only way to go place is up. So, they always say, and I've read it, I think in the Bible, you find treasures in dark places. So when you're always like, maybe you're already down there and you're sad or you're depressed or whatever with the pandemic, there is really, you can find something there. You can. I mean, like all the other businesses that survived or even evolved because of COVID. If there's anything that I can be thankful of COVID, and we were just talking about it, Tita V, you said about how Zoom has totally changed your way of doing things. It was because when COVID arrived, nothing had to stop us. Business has to go on. You know what I mean? Life has to go on. And so when COVID happened, we have to make do of what we have. And technology is a very big part of it. And that's how my vision, and that's how the company, started out as. Because of the pandemic, we're able to call out people. They are more appreciative of what we do. But yes, I am really looking forward as well. What's going to happen in the next year or so, but know that I will be always supporting our Filipino culture, because I think that is what we do the best. We have the best heart. Yeah.
Wow, Melody. Well, you have made life out of a grim situation. You have made a lot of people happy. You have found yourself a real good company to help other people. That is really amazing. Amazing. Congratulations. And I'm happy for you.
Thank you, Tita V. I appreciate that. Coming from you, I really appreciate that. Thanks.
Thank you. And thank you for gracing our show today. Have a nice trip to Boracay. And Merry Christmas to you too. We'll see you this coming Christmas, hopefully.
Merry Christmas, Tita V. I love you. You take care, guys.
We love you. Bye. At maraming salamat po sa inyong panonood. Ako po si Veronica. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Bye.
We would like to welcome all of you to Baladna Jewelry. We have a very big selection of 21 karat gold jewelry imported from the Middle East, from Dubai, Saudi, and Bahrain. And we have a very big selection of diamond. We offer free financing for 6 months, and we have a layaway system which you can leave your stuff for 3 months. We repair gold and we buy old gold. Welcome to Baladna Jewelry.
Salamat po.
Good afternoon, this is Bridget Carino Quetter bringing you this week's local news from our community. At the Illinois Commission on Discrimination and Hate Crimes, we regularly hear about communities feeling unsafe, targeted, and afraid. Hate should never have a home here in Illinois, said Governor J.B. Pritzker. Alongside the Illinois Commission on Discrimination and Hate Crimes, I call on all Illinoisans to reject hate, alienation, and bias in favor of empathy. When we treat one another with respect and dignity, it protects us all. In times of crisis, we may be inclined to turn against each other. Groups that are targeted with bias and hate may focus on other targeted populations as the source of their strife, feeding the weeds of blame, mistrust, and hate, harming all vulnerable populations. Hate is an insidious impulse and emotion that adapts, shifts its target, and manifests in a rage of pernicious behaviors. When hate against one group is allowed to flourish, it inevitably will shift and target another group, often led by malicious opportunists. The OSFM stresses the importance of fire safety while decorating for the holiday season. According to the National Fire Protection Association, more than 1/3 of home decoration fires are started by candles. More than 2 of every 5 home decoration fires occur due to decorations being placed too close to a heat source. The NFPA also reports U.S. fire departments responded to an estimated average of 790 home structure fires per year that began with decorations, excluding Christmas trees. Between 2017 to 2021, U.S. fire departments responded to an average of 150 home fires per year that started with Christmas trees. Electrical distribution or lighting equipment was involved in more than 2 in 5 home Christmas tree fires, with nearly 1 in 5 Christmas tree fires being started by lamps or bulbs. Roughly 2 of every 5 home Christmas tree fires started in the living room. Cook County Treasurer Maria Papas urges property owners who have not paid their property taxes that were due in 2022 to act quickly to avoid the annual tax sale. To find out if your property is on the annual tax sale list, go to cookcountytreasurer.com, use the purple box on the homepage labeled Your Property Tax Overview, and search using an address or property index number, or PIN. A banner with an urgent warning will appear if your property is on the annual tax sale list. The annual tax sale will occur January 9th through 12th, 2024, for properties with unpaid 2021 property taxes due in 2022. The annual tax sale occurs 13 months after its due date. The Treasurer's Office is mailing certified notices alerting property owners their unpaid taxes are to be offered for sale, which would put an end in lien against their properties. It is the first step in a process that can end with a property owner losing their home, business, or land. Besides the mailings, the Treasurer's Office will publish lists of properties with delinquencies, tax lists in local newspapers. Building on the state's data-driven plan to improve asylum seeker response, Governor J.B. Pritzker, the Illinois Department of Human Services, IDHS, and the Greater Chicago Food Depository announced an additional $4 million investment to provide meals to asylum seekers through the end of the calendar year. The additional $2 million state investment will be matched by philanthropy through the Food Depository. At the request of the City of Chicago in June 2023, the state has provided $10.5 million in funding to the Greater Chicago Food Depository, a food bank with a network of community-based providers, to deliver meals to asylum seekers while the city worked to procure additional vendors. In Illinois, we welcome asylum-seeking families with dignity, and that means ensuring they don't go hungry, said Governor J.B. Pritzker. The state is continuing to make strategic investments in the absence of the resources and coordination we continue to advocate for from Congress and the federal government. December is National Impaired Driving Prevention Month. With 2 major holidays and many people on the road traveling, December is a deadly month for drunk driving. The intention of National Impaired Driving Prevention Month is to raise awareness about the dangers of impaired driving. Impaired driving refers to operating a motor vehicle while under the influence of alcohol, drugs, or other substances that can restrict a person's ability to drive safely. Impaired driving is a critical public safety issue, which is why drivers will notice an increase in law enforcement patrols and sobriety checkpoints throughout the month of December. Never get behind the wheel of a vehicle if you are impaired. Impaired driving is a significant cause of traffic accidents, injuries, and fatalities. That's all for today. Thank you for watching the news this week. This is Bridget. See you next time.
It's more fun in the Philippines.
So